So for the past 30 days, I've been trying to build my own brand, and I'm not gonna lie, it has been stressing me out. Like genuinely, it's been stressing me out so much, right? And the reason why it's been stressing me out so much, for one, is the fact that I'm selling something that has not been sold before commercially, and the fact that there's genuinely no competitors. I'm looking at the product, right? Like I'm getting so deep into it. This is genuinely so it's stressful and it's hard, right? So I'm looking at the lane that I'm in, right? And I have no competitors, bro. Like it's generally I have nobody to look for ad ideas, for anything to see what's working. Like I have none of that, bro. It's just me and what I can come up with. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's it. That's all. Right. And I've been watching so many podcasts because this is not like this is drop shipping, but it's not, right. This is e-commerce. So I'm looking at this is like e-commerce mixed with social media marketing, right? So I'm watching these high level social media marketing podcasts, and I'm just getting bombarded with information like, don't do this, do this, don't do that, this is the play. If you're not doing this, you should be doing this. If you are doing this, don't do this. If I'm like, it's just so much information coming into my head, and I'm just getting overloaded with information. Like it's just so much, right? So, some things that I've been trying to do to kind of help me, with this journey, right? So, I started using Notion. And I bought this little template. It's for like an Instagram feed display or whatever. So, it just kind of displays what my Instagram could look like for the brand. I started building like a social media content planner. And right now, what I'm doing, like my main objective, I'm trying to build out a 30-day brand calendar. Is that what it's called? Content calendar, right? I'm trying to build out a 30-day content calendar. And my goal with that content calendar, I want to post 2 posts for the brand a day organically, right? Then we want to head to TikTok shop. And then I want to reach out to Instagram, people on Instagram, that are in that same, whatever you want to call it. And I want to be able to do partnership ads with them. So I can run those people as ads in my actual ad account. Because one thing that I've came to realize, right? So I've been doing dropshipping for 8 months now. And my biggest strength, right, at this current point in day, I am a meta, facilitator. I forgot the word. A media buyer. That's the word. I'm a media buyer. Like that's probably my biggest strength right now because I've been doing it so long, and I'm entering a new arena. Right, I'm entering the arena of social media marketing, which is a little bit different than just media buying because media buying, like it is social media marketing, but it's more, it's more directed towards sales, right? You're not building social media following, brand super like brand awareness. Like you're not really doing that. You're going direct to consumer. You're making an ad. You're trying to get conversions, right? But this new this new journey, this new arena that I'm in is so different. And my biggest inspiration, I like to look at Bloom, right? So I look at Greg Laugh, right? Beforehand, I knew what Bloom was, just through seeing it, but I didn't really know about Bloom, right? So one day I was in New York, I seen somebody holding it, and I asked him, I said, "Oh, what's that? I didn't know Bloom made an energy drink." And he was like, "Yeah, it makes an energy drink." I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And months and months and months goes down, right? And I'm on YouTube and I see, just some random YouTube video by Greg Laugh and I watch it. And I'm like, wait, this is the founder of Bloom. You feel me? I'm like, what? This is crazy. And, I thought that was cool. So I've been watching this video for like a little bit of motivation or whatever. And come a couple weeks after that, maybe like a month or so, I'm in the grocery store and I see the product. I'm like, no way. This is the product from the dude I seen on YouTube, from the product that I seen months and months ago. And I might convert. I might buy the product just off of this weird, buyer journey, right? That's the journey, and that's the power of having a brand, right? You don't have to come buy this product, right? I haven't been hit with a single Bloom ad. I generally haven't, but I've been seeing so much content. I've been seeing it in person. I've been seeing other people use it. All these things just add up. And, that's why it's just so important to build a real brand when, you're trying to create a brand, right? You're trying to build a real social media presence. So that is probably the biggest inspiration that I've been taking for, building my brand. And it's way harder than you think, right? So, obviously, like I said, in the future, I have a separate YouTube channel. I do plan to do like, just like fully like fleshed out vlogs on building the brands, like because I do plan to have a shoot next month, maybe, hopefully. I'm genuinely hoping I want to have a shoot next month and I'm gonna put that on that channel. I might do a collaboration YouTube post. I don't really know, but let me not get too in depth with it. Let me not get too in depth with it. But I guess maybe if you're somebody that's trying to do the same thing, this could help, right? But going back a little bit, a layer above to really the social media planning. I've been trying to learn Notion. If you don't know what Notion is, it's basically a platform for you to, just organize your social media thing. It's a lot for social media managers. They use that a lot. And, if you're trying to plan out your, calendars and stuff like that, like what post goes up on what days, stuff like that. So that's basically what Notion is. And I've been trying to learn that. I said to myself, I'm going to learn Notion because I'm going all in on this. I'm not going to try to hire some sort of social media manager if I'm not able to do it myself. That's just not smart. I want to be able to learn the skill and then hire it out eventually, So that's one thing. But the overarching theme is I'm just overwhelmed with all this information, right? There's so many things I need to work on, and the whole time I don't even have the product in the mail yet. You feel me? Like, whole time I'm doing all this work and I don't even have the product in my hand yet. It's insane, bro. But it really goes to show like how much work goes into building a big brand, right? Because like I said, I'm trying to build one of the biggest brands in the world for this product, right? So you got to lay out these floor plans, and like I look at it day by day, like I'm stressed, but I do understand that it is going to be worth it at the end of the day, right? When I look back a couple years, I'm gonna be like I built this, like Franklin Saint, you feel me? Like I built this from the ground up, me. So like I said, I don't even have a co-founder, bro. It's just me trenching, building my brand, So like I said, it's been a wild ride. It's been very hard. I'm gonna say that. And like I said, bro, like we really haven't even launched yet, bro. We're in the pre-build phases, and it's this hard, right? And I just can't even imagine when I first start posting on organic for it. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm looking at the views, getting low likes. I'm just being like, damn. I just sat here and recorded this. I'm getting all these low views, right? Damn, So um, like I said, bro, just a little rant, just venting, just kind of just explaining to y'all what is going on, because, bro, it's not all grass and rainbows. You feel me? It's difficult, right? It's definitely difficult. It's different than drop shipping, because it does have the same aspects with like the Shopify stuff, conversions, making just good content, but the actual structure is a little bit different, So, like I said, if you do want to get into building like your own brand, it's going to take some work. I'm gonna say that it's going to take some work, but it's definitely possible. I've seen it before. Not in this niche, but I've seen it multiple times. Look at probably any physical product in your house is from a brand. So it's definitely possible. But like I said, it's gonna end off the video. We do have a couple affiliates, you feel me? So first of all, if you don't have luxury tools, I would recommend getting that. It has color data, Canva, CapCut, all that stuff. And then if you want to make AI UGC for the low, I would get Polaris AI. I'll also leave that one in the description as well. Like I said, if you have any sort of questions, hitting up on Instagram. And yeah, bro, I'll catch you guys in the next one.